Hi guys, welcome to Stacking the Shelves and Showcase Sunday for March 14th, 15th, 16th, kind of that weekend. I got a lot of books this week. All of them were for review and most of them were ebooks. Part of that was I hadn't been on NetGalley for a while, so I went on there and, ended up picking up some books for review. I apologize, I'm doing this at night. My son is on spring break, so I'm not going to have time to do it tomorrow. Alright, so I'll just go ahead and start talking about the books. The first one I got for review, it's an ebook, is Rat Queens by... No, I can't read the author's name on here because it's too tiny. Anyways, I saw this on NetGalley, and it's a graphic novel. And I've read a little bit of it so far. It's pretty funny. The whole premise is there's this band of misfit women warriors. And it sounds like there's lots of these bands of warriors, and they were in a town protecting it. And now there aren't really any monsters left, and so the bands of warriors being in the town is more disruptive than the monsters because they're all kind of crazy, and they like to drink a lot, and they're just generally insane. So I started reading this. It's been very funny. Definitely adult humor, but very funny. So I'm excited to read this first volume of Rat Queens. The next one I got was a young adult fantasy novel for review. Again, this was also on NetGalley. And this is The Kiss of Deception by Mary L. Pearson. A lot of you who read young adult books a lot know Mary L. Pearson wrote The Adoration of Jenna Fox, and kind of all those books in the Fox Chronicles. I think there was Inheritance of Fox or whatever. Those were all dystopian young adult novels. The first one of that was actually pretty good. I read the second one and didn't like it quite as much. The Fox Inheritance, I think it was called. This is something completely different. The Kiss of Deception sounds like a fantasy novel, and it sounds like there's a girl who's supposed to inherit a kingdom and like marry for the kingdom, and she decides she doesn't want to and kind of flees her home. It sounds kind of like classic fantasy with some romance in it. I like that kind of stuff, so hopefully I will like it, and I was just curious to see what Mary Pearson would be writing next. Then the cover is really beautiful. I like the cover a lot. There's dragons flying in the background and all this stuff. Alright, the next one I got for review is one that actually has been out for a while. I have a feeling they're re-releasing it on NetGalley for review because the third and final book in the trilogy is being released, I think later in April, either early, mid-April. And that is Adaptation by Malinda Lo. I am a big fan of Malinda Lo. I have read all her fantasy books, and I enjoy those. Adaptation was her first foray into something more like science fiction. I did not read it. I have it on my list to read, and so getting it free through NetGalley is nice because I had been planning to read it anyways. And my understanding is this is about a girl who, she goes into a coma or something, and when she wakes up she's different, and things are different, and things on Earth are being weird, like birds are trying to kill themselves and whatever, and something has happened to humanity or whatever. That's all I know about it. It's kind of a science fiction thing. It sounds like it might be a little bit of like events leading up to the apocalypse type of thing. So anyways, young adult, science fiction-ish type of thing. And the third book in this comes out, I believe, mid-April. This is the first book in it. And I'm excited to read that. I like Malinda Lo a lot. The next one I got for review was also for NetGalley. I just got a whole bunch of them on there. And some of them were ones I had requested a while ago, and I just got granted access to it. This is the first book in a new trilogy called Camelot Burning by Cassandra Rose, and is the first book in a metal and lace novel. So this one caught my eye right away because I'm a big fan of steampunk books, and this is supposed to be an Arthurian steampunk story. So it follows, I'm trying to remember, I think it was Guinevere, and so she is not only, supposed to be dealing with her place as nobility in Camelot, she also apprentices with Merlin and helps him design all these crazy devices and steampunk stuff. So I've heard really good things about it. It looks really awesome. I mean, I don't know if you can see the cover. You've got the whole castle and everything, but it's all made out of metal, and then she's holding a mechanical clockwork bird in her hand, and so that got my attention. And the description sounds just fabulous. So hopefully it'll be a good read. This comes out in April. I believe Kiss of Deception comes out in May, and I know Rat Queens comes out in April, so forgot to mention that. The other one I got that was a graphic novel is Neil Gaiman's Murder Mysteries, and that is another graphic novel. It's also Craig Russell is the other person who helps on this, who illustrated it. My understanding was this was originally like a radio type of play thing, and it got changed into a book at one point, and now it's been transformed into a graphic novel. I already read this. I haven't written the review for it yet, but it was interesting. It's it is a murder mystery type of thing. The main character has gaps in his memory that he can't figure out, like, what happened. It has an interesting twist at the end that kind of leaves you thinking, what exactly happened there, you know? So it was good. It wasn't my favorite thing by Neil Gaiman, and, if you're a big fan of him, check it out. The illustration was really well done throughout, and I liked how they adapted it to a graphic novel. The interesting thing about this book is it's a hardcover, and the last half of the book dealt with explaining how they changed into a graphic novel. So I was kind of expecting a longer graphic novel, and it's about a 70-page graphic novel, and then there's maybe 50 to 60 pages about how they changed it to a graphic novel and why they chose to put in the scenes that they put in, which is interesting to read. It just wasn't what I was expecting. All right, and then I think this is the last electronic book that I got for review. And this is The Wizard's Promise by Cassandra Rose Clarke. And of course, Cassandra Rose Clarke is famous for her Mortal Instruments series and Clockwork Empire stuff. I did read the first book of the Mortal Instruments. I actually didn't like it very much, and I am going to try to read her Clockwork Empire series or whatever, the offshoot of the Mortal Instruments one, to see if I like that, because it's supposed to be more steampunky, and maybe I'll like it more. I don't know. This is a completely different thing from her, Cassandra Rose Clarke. It sounds like it's maybe more middle grade, and it's fantasy, and I don't know a lot about, but again, I really like the cover, and I was curious to read something else by her, because a lot of people really like her as an author, and when I read the Mortal Instruments, the first book in that, I was not really impressed. So hopefully this will be something different that she's written. That'll give me a chance to kind of read her again as an author. And that is all the ebooks I got for review through NetGalley. All those were NetGalley books. Yeah, I know there's a lot of them. I don't know. That's it. Then I did get one book to review through Amazon Vine. Again, this was through their leftovers, so this book has already been released. And that is Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. And this is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. I really like fairy tale retellings, so I'm excited to read this. And this is another one I had on my wish list. And then when I saw Vine had it, I thought, well, I'll go ahead and get it. It actually released in February, the end of February, so it's been out for a little while. But I will be reading it soon, because anything I get through Amazon Vine, I have to have reviewed now in 30 days, so it'll be up sometime there. So that's what I got for books. There's quite a few of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books this week. Most of them are review books. A couple of them are graphic novels, so those will be pretty quick reads for me. I've been trying not to get as many review books, and I did very well on that the last few weeks. And this week I kind of fell off the wagon. But anyways, aside from that, I don't know if you heard the screaming and the gunshots in the background. That is my husband playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag. So we are not killing people in the house. Well, he's killing people, but it's on the TV, so it's not real. So hopefully that'll be comforting for all you people out there who heard the guy scream and gurgle and die in the background. Other than that, die. He was just knocked unconscious. Okay, apparently I'm being corrected. He was knocked unconscious. He was not actually killed. Other than that, a little weather update. We actually hit mid to upper 40s today in Minnesota, and that was excellent. We did our first bike ride of the season, so very excited about that. I have a lot of trouble exercising in the winter because I like to be outside, and it's very hard to do that when it's negative 20. So we did our first bike ride. My son can still ride his bike. He learned last year, and he was very concerned that he would remember, and we told him that's why they say it's like riding a bike. You just never forget it, right? So he was successfully able to do that. So anyways, that's all I have to say. I hope you guys had a great week and you got some great books, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.